Game 5 of the NBA Finals, Heat and the Nuggets. Nuggets had a chance to clinch the series. Heat looking to extend the series. Under 3 minutes to play, Heat down by 1. Jimmy Butler's going to work his way inside for the floater, and the Heat are up by a point. Ensuing possession for the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic drives right for the layup inside.
Mouse in the house.
Nuggets retake the lead. Then after some Butler free throws, the Nuggets are back down by 1. Here's Murray. Tough jumper that misses, but Bruce Brown is there for the putback layup to put Denver back up by a point.
Opportunity.
34 seconds left. Heat down by 1. Butler drives, but he does not shoot. He's going to look to kick it to Max Strus. The ball is stolen away by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. The Heat have to foul. Big turnover by Jimmy Butler in a big spot. Then down by 3 after free throws. 22 seconds left. Butler is going to get to the right wing, but missed the 3. And Bruce Brown with the rebound again. The Nuggets are NBA champions, and here's what it sounded like in the locker room after.
We won as a family. We stay together as a family. I'm proud of you guys.
Hell yeah.
And I love each and every one of you.
Let's go.
As a family. Yes, sir.
We're satisfied tonight, Coach.
Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's a good feeling when you know that you did something that nobody believes, and it was just us. It's just the organization of Denver Nuggets believe in us. Every player believe in each other, and I think that's the most important thing.
All right, Jay Williams joins the party now. Hi, Jay.
Hey, guys. What's up, legs?
What up, Jay? What was your big takeaway from that game?
Can I first off just give credit to Denver?
Sure, you can do whatever you want to do.
The last 3 champions have all been homegrown.
Yep.
Homegrown,
All right.
drafted by their franchises, right? Giannis and what he was able to do, obviously Steph and what we saw them do last year, and then to see that come to fruition for Jokic and Jamal Murray, who wasn't even sure he was going to be on the team last year. Just want to give them their flowers. First championship in Denver Nuggets history. They deserve it. Now, let's get to Jimmy Butler. Here's the one thing I worry about moving forward. This is why I think this team needs Dame. And Legs, I get that it can come down to the fourth quarter where you need Jimmy Butler to make that push. I just don't understand in a Game 5 closeout scenario that in the first quarter, when you're talking about the Denver Nuggets shooting 7% from the three-point line in the first half, why I did not see a Jimmy Butler, regardless of ankle, whatever the issue is, be super, super aggressive.
They were in foul trouble. The opportunity was there.
Denver was in foul trouble.
Denver was in foul trouble. They had Jokic off the court.
You,
they had
Alan.
Gordon off the court.
Thank you, Alan.
They dusted off DeAndre Jordan and brought him into the game. Like, I'm with you about opportunity. And it took all the way to about 4 minutes to go in the game for Jimmy to make 2 threes that suddenly woke him up. And then he got, obviously, a gifted three-point play in the corner. But I'm with you. It's like the whole game, and you heard Jeff Van Gundy talk about it. Where are you?
I'm just saying,
when your team needs you most, where are you?
I know they're outmanned. Monica. It just gets to a certain point, though. This is your moment.
Yeah.
So, like, I am having 30 shots. I am being aggressive right from the beginning because I think that opens up other opportunities for my teammates because I'm going to draw a lot of attention. I don't understand why we saw a passive Jimmy in the first couple of quarters. I don't understand that.
And you heard Kyle Lowry said it earlier in the playoffs. When he gets off to the strong start and is aggressive, the rest of the team feeds off that.
Doesn't that then lead you to deduce that something's not right?
Sure, but if you're on, I'm with Jeff Van Gundy too now. Like, at the end of the day, everybody's playing through injuries, and if you're on the court, we're here to play.
But I mean,
we're here to play.
Could it not? I mean, could it not be a combination of factors? I mean, this guy really did carry this team to this point. Was too much being asked of him?
Ran out of gas.
Yeah,
that's the factor.
But I'm not trying to. Nobody's attacking how they got here. That's been one of the best runs we've ever seen.
But as an explanation for the drop off in performance in this series, I mean, is that not plausible?
I mean, you act like we live in a plausible world in the reality of athletes. Like, what world is plausible? You're telling me like the Miami Heat team, those players didn't believe they had a chance to win?
No,
you're telling me they're not watching tape saying that I was playing better in these first 2-3 games?
I am as disappointed as anybody up here because I actually thought Miami was going to pull it off last night. And through 3 quarters, there was some life to that, right?
Sure.
Even when you got into the fourth. But I think when they got stuck, I think it was 79-76, for what felt like an eternity, that was like, oh no, here comes Denver. They are about to go on a roll in this thing at home. They understand the moment. You heard the sound of DeAndre Jordan telling Jamal Murray, let's do it at home. You got 12 minutes to go here. So I'm with you, but I think there's something really not right.
Okay. I want to get Legs into this conversation. Legs, when you looked at Jimmy in this series, what did you see?
Yeah, look, a combination of everything everyone has said. I also think this was a situation in which some of the spots that Jimmy Butler likes to operate in, he saw a lot of size and a lot of length, and you can just see a little bit of indecision on his part. You know, some of those plays where he's breaking guys down and then coming to these big jump stops, like right there, and you see the size and the length around him, his mind wasn't on, you know, premeditated, like I'm taking this up strong and I'm going to aggressively hunt a shot. He would get to those spots on the floor that in previous rounds we saw him operate that way. Now he was already looking out to the perimeter before he even got to that area of the floor, looking to make a pass and kick out. And I felt like Mark Jackson and Jeff both made a good point on the broadcast, which was critical times in the game, role players were being asked to do too much on this team because Jimmy Butler was not in that flow and that rhythm offensively that they desperately needed. So I think it's a combination of everything. Denver's defense and size, maybe he's not feeling great. And then part of it, he has to own his own mentality and not anticipating offensive opportunities for himself on a team that is a little bit limited on that end of the floor.
This is the last thing, guys. I have to bring this up because no other show is going to talk about it. It angers me. And I get that people thought the game was over. But you're telling me when Kyle Lowry took that last shot, okay, and they got the rebound, there were 11 seconds on the clock. 11 seconds on the clock, you're down 5. I saw Duncan Robinson pull out his jersey. I saw everybody start to walk.
You're right. They were clearly exhausted. You're right.
They took your spirit. They were exhausted. They were done.
They were exhausted from trying to slow down Nikola Jokic, and I want to get to him because you've been talking him up for a while now on this show about where he ranks in history. He is the 4th center in NBA history to earn multiple MVPs and at least one Finals MVP. The others you've heard of. They are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, and Moses Malone. He was a former second-round pick, drafted famously during a Taco Bell commercial, who becomes the lowest drafted player to win Finals MVP, not including Moses, who went undrafted. Jokic's teammate Michael Porter Jr. had incredibly high praise for him after the game last night. Here's what he had to say.
This was a historic run. I don't know how you could say he's not the best big man ever, really. Like, he's one of the all-time great basketball players. I don't care what anyone says. I think he's one of the all-time best players to ever play this game.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
I mean, why are we doing this?
It's going to speak for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar right now, but it's when the entire body of work is done, he's going to be up there with some of the best to ever do it.
What you're saying is much different than what he just said, which is already is. Which we're getting there.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
There's a bottle of champagne there, you know, like he'd had it. You know,
a lot too much bubbly.
Celebrate.
Can you say the numbers are staggering, though? When you look at the numbers of like 32, 21, and 10 in the NBA Finals, he's over 50, 40, 90 easily.
Can we say this?
He's 50, 50, 90, actually.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
disgusting.
what?
It's gross.
What?
But this is the greatest run we have seen by a center in NBA playoff history. The greatest run. You can say that because statistically it is. He has the championship. He has the Eastern. He has the Western Conference Finals MVP. He has the Finals MVP. He has all the hardware. It's the greatest run by a center in NBA playoff history. You can say that. But is he the greatest center in NBA history? No. Not yet. Not yet.
Legs said the most versatile, which sounds pretty synonymous to greatest.
Yeah, listen, it's too soon to start saying greatest, okay? We just saw the list of centers, and there were some other guys not listed there. Bill Russell wasn't listed there, Hakeem Olajuwon. So he goes into that category of all-time great centers. He's not there yet because, look, there's two different categories here. You can say greatest player and greatest career, right? The guys that we're talking about, it's the full body of work by the time it's said and done. We think he's headed there. Certainly from a skill standpoint, I don't think there's ever been a guy at center that has all of the weapons at his disposal in one package that Nikola Jokic does offensively. I'm just saying. But look, the defensive end of the floor does matter when you start ranking these players and their impact on that end. got to take into account. Let's see how many titles he ends up with at the end, because look, there's one thing that I think Nikola Jokic now is going to need to really cement himself where you start making this a legitimate conversation as the greatest center of all time. He needs to take on a team that is a legitimate title contender, like going into the year, loaded with talent, match up with them in the finals, and get it done then as well, because he did just beat an 8 seed. We do need to take that into account. Right now, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's good. I like
I'm
that.
just saying.
I like that.
I'm just saying. I'm just listen. Hold on. No. Let me finish my point.
Yeah.
Look, you're not diminishing the Nuggets winning a title. You play who's in front of you, but I'm saying you think every title carries the exact same weight. Contextually, it doesn't. You don't think if that was a healthy Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo on it, that people would be much more willing to take that leap right now? I'm just saying, let's let this play out for the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. All right, I've already said it. He is the most versatile center offensively this league has ever seen. But you need to start stacking things up now. Let's not make the leap and have him just jump over all of the guys on that list. That's all I'm saying. And if you get a team like I'm talking about in the finals in the future and you take them out, then you start really climbing those rungs on the ladder, because it all adds up to create a narrative around a player. That's all I'm saying.
I just first off want to say I'm glad that great minds think alike, Legs, because I said I think he was the most offensively skilled center the game of basketball has ever seen. So you and I are on the same page on that. All I will say in retort to yours, and there's still a lot to be determined as we wait to see. I just can't hold it against Jokic if the numbers are exactly the same and due to a war of attrition, other players or other teams can't finish their part of the deal. I can't hold that against him. As long as he's finishing his part of the deal, what happens in the other side of the bracket, that's up to them. If they can't get there, I can't use that to hold it against you.
You're saying two different things.
No, not.
No, it's two different things.
Yeah.
No,
You don't hold it against him, but
Right.
what Legs is saying, I agree with. There is another level to this, which is the battle of the Titans that you would love to see him in.
Yes,
Y'all,
that's what I'm
we
saying.
all know the quote. Control what you can control.
Thank you.
He can't control who he run up against.
Yeah, but I
we
think
want to see it.
Legs' point is, how does he elevate beyond where he already is? And
Right,
that may
that's
be a
exactly
way
my
to do
point.
it if he has to go top
20 of all time.
There's another level to it, and that's what I'm saying. Taking on one of those type teams and beating them, which they could be capable of doing, it absolutely then gives more weight to the argument. That's all I'm saying. Nobody's trying to take anything away from Denver. Don't all your ohs and ahs and all that noise. Everybody heard me. Alan, I'm glad you're on that set, Alan. I am glad you're on that set today.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.